Minutes.
All right, good deal.
Give
Good
it a
morning,
couple
colleagues.
minutes.
Good morning, colleagues.
Give it a couple minutes. It's not totally live yet.
It says it's streamed live.
Okay,
We'll
it's
just go
on
with
now.
it. We're just going to go with it. Good morning,
Okay.
colleagues. We are convening the first Southern Maryland delegation meeting 2022. We won't do the pledge of, we'll forego the pledge of allegiance. Our welcoming remarks are just welcome. Thank everybody for coming. I know it's been tough already, so I want to get down to the business. We're here today for a very brief meeting. As you know, I don't like to talk a lot. I want to get it done and over with, but I want to make sure we do it efficiently. We do have, I myself, as I've let you guys know, as Delegate Crosby must resign from our positions as chair and vice chair of the delegation. As such, that leaves us a vacancy. Since there's a vacancy, we do need to appoint and nominate and appoint or vote in a new chair and a new vice chair. So without further ado, we have to open up nominations for the chair of the Southern Maryland delegation.
Mr. Chair,
Yes.
I'd like to nominate for the Southern Maryland Delegation Chair, Delegate Edith Patterson.
Is there a second?
Mr. Chair, I second that motion.
Are there any other nominations? Seeing none, we will now close the nominations. And now it is time for a vote. All those in favor of Delegate Edith Patterson, please raise your hand.
Can you,
I will call
can
them off.
I call their name and they,
Yeah.
and they say,
There you
because
go.
I can't
That's-
see everybody?
That's fine. I apologize. Go ahead.
Okay, CT Wilson, yay
Yes.
or nay? Delegate Crosby,
Yay.
Arthur Ellis, is he on? I don't think he's on. Okay, I'll put absent. Senator Jackson.
Don't
Senator
worry.
Did he say it? I can't hear him.
Yes, good morning, just got on.
Okay, is that there was a nomination for Delegate Patterson and it was seconded for the position of chair. How's your vote?
Yes. I vote aye.
Okay, Delegate Davis,
Aye.
Delegate Proctor,
Aye.
Delegate Jones,
Yes.
Delegate Patterson,
Yes.
Delegate Fisher.
In the spirit of bipartisanship, as long as we have a vice chair that's Republican, I'll vote yes. I mean, it does kind of make sense. So,
Yes, we haven't gotten to that part yet. Is that a yes?
which is like so convenient. It's like, you haven't got your amendment yet. It's been days, you know.
Okay.
Sorry, yeah, don't know why that's happened.
Delegate Morgan,
Yes.
Delegate Clark,
Yes.
and Senator Bailey.
Yes.
Okay, and Senator Ellis, are you on?
Yes, I am on, but I don't know what we're voting for. So
Okay,
I will abstain from-
Delegate Patterson was just nominated and second as chair. And so we're now doing the official vote.
Okay.
And so what is your vote?
Yes.
Okay, it's unanimous. Congratulations, Delegate Patterson. You are now chair of the Southern Maryland delegation.
And although Delegate Patterson, if you would not mind giving me one more, although you are officially the chair, if you give me one more moment of being chair, so we could discuss the vice chair.
Absolutely. Thank you very much. No
Thank
problem.
you. As the former chair of the delegation, we now are going to talk about the vice chair. I do believe before we go on, and I know we don't have a lot of time, but I know we have enough. We have our colleagues from across the aisle that do wish a discussion. Before we open up the nominations, Delegate Fisher, would you like to say something?
Sure, yeah, I just think vice chair that was Republican. And it would be wonderful to have that bipartisanship on the Southern Maryland delegation, especially this particular year. So to that end, I would love to see Matt Morgan be the vice chair.
Okay. Like I said, I don't know if the appointed individual that we're discussing Rachel Jones was clamoring for the seat. I believe this really isn't for the body to discuss. I don't really, Rachel, do you have anything to say about that?
I don't have anything to say. I know the nomination process is open. Anybody can be nominated, so. I
Well,
don't
my
have-
second choice would be Senator Ellis, so I just want you to know that's my first.
Well, Senator Ellis is already chair of the Senate delegation, so I'm not even sure if the senators can vote because we don't get to vote for theirs. But we're in process.
Technically,
I don't know why you're acting like that.
yeah, technically we can't.
You just became his chair, so you booting folks already. Come on, man.
I'm no longer chair. But so however my colleagues choose to do it, is there any more discussion before we get going? Jerry, I know you always have something positive to say.
No discussion. I'd like to make a motion.
Go ahead.
I'd like to make a motion to have Matt Morgan be the vice chair.
The nominations weren't open, but they are now, and I will take the fact that you're nominating Matt Morgan for vice chair.
Okay, Matt Morgan, that's the only one.
Well, I don't know.
You refer to me.
Mr. Chair,
Mr.
Yes.
Chairman, I think,
I'm not doing this. Thank you.
I think that in terms of the nomination, that it's good to say, bipartisanship, but I also think it's really also important to look at teamwork. It's also to look at geographic location. And with that said, I would like to nominate Rachel Jones, the vice chair.
Okay.
second.
We need, did we get a second for Mr. Morgan, Delegate Morgan?
Yes.
Outstanding.
That's Bailey.
Correct.
Okay, who seconded Delegate Jones?
Davis.
Davis.
Davis. Okay, are there any more?
Mr. Chairman, could I make one comment?
Please.
Where, I admire and have trust in Rachel Jones. I think that it's appropriate that we should have a vice chair that represents some of the lower parts of Southern Maryland. Rachel's district is the northern part of Calvert and Prince George's County. And I think that that really puts us in a vacuum with St. Mary's County and the lower part of Calvert, where we have a lot of large military installations and a lot of industrial places that are very important to the Southern Maryland delegation as a whole. So that's why I wanted to nominate Matt Morgan for that position.
Mr. Chair,
Yes.
with all due respect, I think that even prior to my appointment here, I'd venture to say that out of all of my colleagues, and this is no disrespect to those of you who've been serving far longer than me, but you all know me because my job was to intimately know the ins and outs of every single county in the Southern Maryland delegation. And so I think I'm very surprised that my colleagues from Calvert have this notion that that it should be someone else, and that I don't have the ability to properly represent Calvert fully because I only represent the northern part. So I don't really think that that's a solid argument, but I digress.
Mr. Chairman, just briefly, Matt, I from what I've heard, I do wish this was something that could have been discussed ahead of time, not only because we could have had more of an open discussion, because I do not believe that anyone is attacking Delegate Jones's ability. They believe honestly that they would like to see more work across the aisle. More balance. So this is not a personal attack. We understand that we all play a political game here because we're in politics, unfortunately. But I don't think, and nor I would ask anyone to take it personal, because they're standing as the minority party for what they believe in, and they're doing it in a unified manner. This is the way the game works. This is what we signed up for. I don't want to cut anybody's voice short. And if it doesn't work for them this time, I would expect them to do this each and every time, not as is their right, but I believe as their obligation representing their constituency. So please do not take offense at anything that's being said here today, because I know each and every one of my Republican colleagues, even Matt and Mark, have the best intentions, mean the best, and really do want to see things better for their constituents. So with that being said, Delegate Morgan.
So I just wanted, Rachel had a brief opportunity to talk about a little bit
Yes,
about
sir.
qualifications. I just wanted quick 90 seconds to
Yes, sir,
remind
please.
everybody that I was born and raised in Southern Maryland. I graduated from McDonough High School, the same high school former chairman Wilson's daughter goes to. I graduated with Delegate Patterson's son a year ahead before him. And, I lived, everyone gives me, I'm a St. Mary's guy, and I guess I am now. I didn't move to St. Mary's County until 2013. Prior to that, I lived in Charles County my
Yes,
entire
we all
life.
see your fundraising. We see your fundraising.
Yeah, you see my fundraising reports, and I know this chairman, ECM really loves that. But, I worked for College of Southern Maryland for 15 years over in Calvert County. So I have a lot of friends over there in that area too. So, I know Southern Maryland well.
I thought Delegate Patterson was 39 years old. I didn't realize that you went to school with her son.
Well, she had him when she was 4.
Well,
That's correct.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes, sir.
I want to clarify to Rachel that my remarks were not intended to be personal whatsoever. If 3 or 4 years ago, if you'd been here when we were making this pick, and we ended up with Chairman Wilson and Vice Chair Crosby, it was a little even more contentious than this. So, Rachel, you know me well enough that I'm not making personal remarks. I'm making remarks that I think are best for my constituents and the constituents in St. Mary's County.
And I don't believe anybody on this call would ever doubt your veracity, Jerry. We hear you on the floor. We know your kindness and the things you do from your heart. I will say that, even though we're moving forward this, even though there is a political process, as I said with Rachel for Delegate Morgan, I don't think that even if this doesn't go the way you want, that there's any doubt of your ability of, unfortunately, like I said, there's the downside of the political game is the politics, but I don't think that, means that people do not believe in your abilities or what you bring to the table.
Yes, Mr. Chairman, I understand. I just didn't think their argument made sense. So I had to say that, the argument just didn't
No
make
question,
sense.
but I just know that we all have a job to do. We all have obligations.
Can I just jump in really quick? Arthur Ellis here.
Sure.
Yeah, I would love for the Southern Maryland delegation to be very much united for Southern Maryland. We know the different political stripes of each member, but we represent a region that we need to really work together well to get resources for. And, the thing is, I know I try hard to work with my senators, Jackson and Bailey, and we talk a lot about what's good for Southern Maryland. If you look at our voter record over in the Senate, it is comparable to what I'm saying right now. We work together, we support each other in the Senate on regional issues. And I'm just concerned that this is a tri-county body, tri-burial body, Senate and the House. And I just want to know, but we have another tri-county body, the Tri-County Council. And I would love to see a more collegial atmosphere on that body also, Tri-County Council. For instance, when we voted last year, I believe, for the light rail issue, there was a hell no coming from one of our colleagues on this call, which I consider totally disrespectful. I mean, we've got over that, but we need to demonstrate more collegial body. I would love to vote for Delegate Morgan. I would love for us to really work together. But until I see that cooperation in the Tri-County Council, I will not do that vote, and it's something we need to work on. I don't know if the voters will send me back to Annapolis next year. That's between the voters and God. But going forward, I would love to cast this vote, but I need to see a more collegial, respectful attitude in all our work-ins in the Southern Maryland region. And when we see that, I can personally, in good conscience, cast that vote like that nomination. But until then, I will hold that vote.
So let me get this
Thank you,
straight.
Chair.
We have to fall in line with whatever you want to have a collegial relationship, Senator? Is that your
No, sir.
opinion?
No, sir. You can vote no.
It kind of sounds like
but-
just what you said.
Did you ask me a question? Can I answer or go ahead? You asked me a
Answer what?
question. You asked, I'm sorry?
I'm
You asked me a
asking,
question,
so
so
we
let
have
me
to
answer
fall
it.
in line. The question
No,
is.
no, no. I didn't say fall in line. I said show respect. Don't you vote a hell no. You can vote no, but a hell no coming from you, very disrespectful. And until I see respect coming from you and others, you're the main one, I won't like cast that vote. So you remember that hell no.
Hell no. And I tend to treat people like we're treated. And
No one,
how's
I've never said hell
due
no.
on
to
others like
anything,
is
period.
due on you. So,
sorry?
you know, I remember your bill hearing last year over a pretty simplistic bill that was unifiedly voted on the House. So yeah, I do have some problems with
No.
how we
Your
are.
hell
including
no came
myself.
before that vote that you got from my
Colleagues,
colleague.
we're now.
So-
Well, you know, there's
So-
two bodies in this in the General Assembly, and you know,
Well,
what
I'm not
goes
talking
around
about that.
comes
though.
around.
All
I'm
right,
talking about the
gentlemen,
Tri-County Council, sir. I'm trying.
Gentlemen,
on your
okay,
hell no vote.
we have
So-
now gotten well off base. I didn't
Well,
want
no.
to get. No,
I just said why my reason for why I would support Rachel Jones. I would love to be, otherwise, but I just said my reason.
okay, and I will say again, without devolving any further, I do understand, and I will mirror what you said. I don't think it's necessarily untenable to have a chair that's a D and a vice chair that's an R. I wasn't prepared for this today. I didn't even think about it, but I don't think that's untenable. I don't think it's something not to ask for. I understand that when my Republican colleagues get mistreated or they feel that their voices are not being heard, they tend to want to be more vociferous with their opposition. But I do believe we have to get on with the vote.
Are we changing what they can sell?
I want to get Susie, could you mute?
No, it doesn't. That's a pretty good. Thank you for your.
Thank you. Well, all right. Yeah. Again, I don't want this to devolve further because I do know we have to work together. And I will say this, and we do need our Republican colleagues. There are times when we need a vote, and we need to we need them on board. Otherwise, we've had it happen several times on the floor. Things didn't move because they said no because they were mistreated or felt mistreated. So that is not my goal today, Delegate Morgan, Delegates Fisher, Senator Jackson, Jerry Clark, Delegate Clark, apologize. It's not my goal. We have a process, but you guys know me. I know that you guys need your voice heard. Mark is in my committee, and I do my damnedest to make sure they have a voice. They don't get what they want. I tell them that all the time. But you can put your teeth marks on a bill before it leaves. And I hope that we will continue. That is what I feel is a collegiate atmosphere. I don't need you to like me. You don't need to pat me on the back. I don't need to like you, Matt. But I do want to make sure that you guys have a voice, that you feel that you guys at least are able to stand up, rant, rave, do whatever you need to do for your constituents. And I hope the next chair, I believe the next chair and vice chair will not stop that. I hope they don't. Because I do understand your frustration. So are we ready to take the vote? Can I close the nomination process?
Okay, so I officially have to have everyone's vote for each candidate, no matter what it is. I need it for the official records. Okay, so Delegate Morgan was nominated first. So we'll go through the go through the votes for him. So, Delegate C.P. Wilson.
Wait. Susie, I need you to mute your phone or mute your TV for a minute.
I'm having trouble. I'm trying to do twice.
So
sorry.
But before
my
we
turn
do
to
that,
vote?
No, not yet. My question would be, why would we not call each delegate by name or senator, have them cast their vote for either Matt Morgan or Delegate Jones?
Okay.
I believe in that way, we don't have to go through twice.
Okay, we can do that.
Thank you.
Okay, so. Yeah.
Delegate Ivy. Yes.
Delegate Wilson, who is your vote for?
I vote for Ms. Jones.
Delegate Jones.
Delegate Crosby,
Delegate Jones.
Senator Ellis,
Delegate Jones.
No, I'm sorry.
Senator Jackson,
Delegate Jones.
Delegate Davis,
Delegate Jones.
Delegate Lewis.
Yes.
Delegate Proctor,
Yes.
which candidate?
Rachel Jones.
Delegate Jones,
For myself.
Delegate Patterson,
Delegate Jones.
Delegate Fisher,
Mute, Mark.
Delegate Matt Morgan.
Delegate Morgan,
Myself.
Delegate Clark,
Delegate Morgan.
and Senator Bailey.
Delegate Morgan.
All right, the votes
Okay.
been cast. The new vice chair is Delegate Jones. And before we close this down, I'm not joking about this. This might have gone a different direction had we known about it, because honestly, Delegate Jones wasn't overly pressed to do this. She has a lot of obligations. I really do wish we could have had, and maybe because maybe this is my fault for dropping it out there so late. So I do apologize because
When did you drop it out, actually?
Huh?
When did you drop it out? Because we really didn't know about it until like this discussion from floor and stuff. I actually a lobbyist.
No, about the election.
Yeah.
About the election, we sent an email out.
No, I didn't see that.
Chairman Wilson.
You're now the chairman. Go ahead, Chairman Patterson.
Well, let me just say this before we close out. I'd like to, first of all, thank you and Vice Chair Crosby for your leadership. This is my 8th year being in the House. I've served with several leaders, and certainly you have kept the tradition of maintaining a voice for Southern Maryland. And I hope, first of all, I want to congratulate my Vice Chair, Rachel Jones, and also to congratulate Matt Morgan for his willingness to, again, to be one of the team leaders for Southern Maryland. I want to make sure that everyone understands we are the chair and the vice chair, but we're also a team. We are the voice for Southern Maryland, Calvert, Charles, and St. Mary's. And so for those who view it as Democrats or the D's and the R's or this or that, that is not what we're all about. And let's try and wrap our heads around being a team. Words have consequences. Deeds have, your actions have consequences. And so I hope from this point on, and I appreciate the comments from Senator Ellis in terms of his delivery. It's very civil, and that's what we want to impress or to continue, civility.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
And compassion for one another. So as chair and vice chair, we're going to meet as a team because I want to include, we will include everyone as it relates to the agenda, to the topics. We may disagree, but the whole focus again is to promote, encourage, and support Southern Maryland, Calvert, Charles, and St. Mary's. Thank you for giving me this opportunity, and thank you, Delegate Jones, for stepping up to assume this leadership. And again, Chair Wilson and Vice Chair Crosby, thank you very much for paving the way for us as we continue moving into 22.
Okay, and I know we got to go, guys. Thank you. The next meeting will be Friday, February the 4th at 9 a.m. Zoom link and agenda will be sent. I think we'll discuss that time, dues and delegation fees and all that, okay? And I'm not, okay, Delegate Patterson, would you like to close us out? Chair Patterson?
I'm muting. I thought I did. Thank you very, very much. And again, we will send the notice out. We have an agenda. I believe that we will have a representative from tourism and also I believe Senator Van Hollen will be here for delivery. But we'll send information out to get ideas in terms of the agenda and presenters. So again, thank you very much. And for the Charles County delegation, you have 2 minutes to get onto the next Zoom because we also will do an organizational meeting there. Thank you so much.